Leaving a legacy and being remembered is a want that many of us have. But few exemplify this as much as Anne Frank. She was a young woman who lived in hiding for part of the Holocaust and wrote about her experiences. Her diary is from one of the darkest times throughout history, and yet she shared a message of hope. Let's look first at the power of this diary. It was a thing for her to confide in, to pour her thoughts out into. Towards the beginning of her diary, she writes, "I hope I will be able to confide everything in you, as I have never been able to confide in anyone, and I hope you will be a great source of comfort and support." Her diary is so powerful because it shares her impactful story, the thing that she went to for comfort and support. Daly in the text highlights the importance of this in his book Advocacy, when he says that effective advocates grasp the value of narrative. But Anne's impact doesn't just end there. She was one who advocated for certain things. Two things come to mind. The first, she emphasized the idea that people are good. To quote from her diary, "It's really a wonder that I haven't dropped all of my ideals, because they seem so absurd and impossible to carry out. Yet I keep them, because in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart." A second ideal that she shared, or that she talked about, was the importance of respecting women. She said, and that women should be respected just as much as men. Women should be respected as well, generally speaking. Men are held in great esteem in all parts of the world, so why shouldn't women have their share? Soldiers and war heroes are honored and commemorated. Explorers are granted immortal fame. Martyrs are revered, but how many people look upon a woman, too, as a soldier? Women who struggle and suffer pain to ensure the continuation of the human race make much tougher and more courageous soldiers than all of those big-mouthed freedom-fighting heroes put together. But her message was a timeless message of hope. She was perpetually optimistic, always pointing out the good in the midst of the bad. Her message was so filled with hope that it actually inspired Nelson Mandela while he was in prison. He said, "I read Anne Frank's diary while imprisoned on Robben Island and derived much encouragement from it." She even encouraged Nelson Mandela. But her legacy goes beyond just other advocates to you and I today. My favorite quote from her diary is, "I don't want to have lived in vain like most people. I want to be useful or bring enjoyment to all people, even those I've never met. I want to go on living even after my death." Thanks to her principles and sticking to these principles, she inspired many. The importance of these principles, Daly notes in chapter 4 when he says, "Communicate on principle and act on principles." Thanks to Anne's principles, many organizations continue her legacy to this day. Organizations like the Anne Frank House continue to share her message. Ultimately, her legacy continues to inspire others, even after her death.